Hi, everybody. DJ Yoakley here, live from YSN World Headquarters, and I am joined by one of my favorite guys. We're built the same. We're the little guys in the room, but we got the biggest hearts. It is South Range's very own Shane Lindstrom, and today's player profile brought to you by Youngstown State University. We are Y and proud. Shano, what's going on, dude? How was your summer?
Summer's going great. We started doubles last week, so it's a lot, but it's fun. It's nothing else we'd rather do. So we're excited and we're looking forward to the season.
How are things different when you go through doubles as a senior? Is it starting to kick in that this is the last go around in the burgundy and gold?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because like every day I'm thinking like in my head like, oh, this is my last first this, or my last first doubles or triples or just like stuff like that. So it's definitely starting to sink in, and we're gonna try to make the most of it.
So last year, man, obviously we don't want to go back and talk. It was a great year. I mean, you go undefeated, you go into the playoffs, and the only team that can stop you is the team that everybody wants to stop, and seemingly no one can. It's Kirtland. Coming off of that loss, what did you learn as a whole when you really stepped back and looked at last season that you're going to take into this season with a little bit extra hunger?
Yeah, first things first. I mean, you said it. Last year was an incredible year. I mean, hats off to last year's seniors for, doing what they did, and the underclassmen too. We came together real well, and it showed in our record and what we accomplished. So last year was it was an amazing year, and fortunately it ended a little shorter than what we wanted against Kirtland. I mean, after that game, we, like you said, took a step back, and we just, we realized that sometimes, just doesn't work out. But, we definitely took that as motivation. I mean, we all know the score 38-15, all this, especially the seniors. It's always in, our head. It's in our locker room. It's in our weight room. Whenever we're doing sprints or doing a workout, it's always in our head. And it's funny because, sometimes I like to stir things up. And when we're lifting and, I play the music on the speakers, I'll always play the recap of that game, ending with, 38-15, and just give the guys extra motivation for this.
You put that on the sound system?
Yeah.
It's not me, is it? I hate to be me.
No.
Okay.
No. I think it was like WKBN.
Okay. I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're all going to hate me. They're going to hate the sound of my voice.
Like Hornets sting the Raiders or something like that. Just extra motivation.
All right. So from that standpoint, obviously you guys, you're getting it in your head. You're getting it in your psyche. Listen, we're going to get Kirtland this time. We're going to get him. It's our senior year. We're going to take him down. They're not going to see it coming. It's going to be us and them again. And then they're out.
Yeah.
So is there a piece of you that goes, yes, or there's a piece of you that goes, man, I just wanted one more shot at them?
It's hard to say because I'll talk to some people from South Range, and one would be say like we're glad they're dropped down, but most of the football players are kind of mad or upset that they dropped down because again we still want to play them. They beat us the last 3 years, but we'd take the challenge head on, and there's still a lot of great teams in Division 5, and we're excited to play them. But yeah, we thought that Kirtland was gonna stay in our division and be able to play them for a fourth time, which would be nice, and hopefully we'd be able to beat them. But they dropped down, and we're ready for new competition.
Next man up, right? That's what they say in that beautiful gridiron sport. All right, so let's talk about this team. This year's team, it's a different look to it. Not necessarily a different feel, but a different look. You lose some of your seniors, obviously, last year. Some standout guys. Michael Lally on your line. You got Dominguez in the backfield. A key part of what you guys were doing on offense. It's going to be a little bit different of a look when you look at the burgundy and gold when you guys start things on the 18th against Springfield. But what does this team have? Not necessarily what the other teams didn't, but what is the character of your senior class and of this 2022 South Range Raider football team?
The people might look different this year, we got different people, but the mentality is the same. We still got that tough, South Range mentality. We're going to go out there. We're going to play South Range football, just like we've been doing, for our 4 years, and how South Range has been the past however many years. That's why they're so successful. The mentality is, it's ingrained in them. And yeah, we're excited for this year. I mean, we did lose, a few key guys. I mean, Dylan is, it's not much else I can say that you guys already don't know. I mean, about him. And like you said, Michael Lally, huge on the line, Logan Cormel, Jacob Brooks, Brent Laws, all those guys, they're gone. But, the new guys that are on the line, they're stepping up. They had a tremendous off season in the weight room, and, they're putting in the work, and, we see that, and we're excited.
You have been dubbed the Julian Edelman of the Mahoning Valley. What does that mean? There it is. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
What does it mean to you? And it looks like you take that as a pat on the back instead of like a kick in the boys.
No, I love it. I mean, just ever since, I started watching Julian Edelman. I mean, I'm a Patriots fan, from the second I was born, I was, a Patriots fan. So, when I saw him, first it was Wes Welker, working the slot, and then Julian Edelman came, and, he inspired a lot of my game, and, he gave me a lot of inspiration too, Julian Edelman, just showing that you can do it. And, reading into his story and about his life, he's a tough dude, and, that's what I try to be every day.
Dude, you're tough as nails. There's no doubt about that. There's very few people out there that I would put up against you in a pain competition, because you've played through a lot of pain. You've had a lot of adversity in your life, but you started, most people are sitting there putting Pop Warner helmets on and swinging baseball bats, but you actually started as a gymnast. Talk to me about that and how that whole thing kind of transpired and how it helps you today with your game on the field and on the diamond.
That's right. I mean, I started gymnastics when I was 5 or 6, and I did it competitively up until I was 13 or 14. And you said it helps so much, like balance, core strength, like my air sense. It helped like immeasurably. Like, I'm so glad I did it. And even though I decided to quit, I'm extremely glad that my parents, had me in it for as long as I did. And, I wasn't able to play tackle football until 8th grade. So I started a little later than, most of the other guys, but I'm definitely glad I did gymnastics. I made a lot of good memories, and I feel like it, helped me not only like on the field, but my work ethic. We're 7, 8 years old, training 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. So that just like stuck with me, even after I quit. I knew I had to, work out a lot, or I'd, get a little chubby, so I had to, keep that work ethic with me. And I attribute a lot of that to gymnastics.
Well, judging by the rack of ribbons and medals that you have behind you, you did all right by yourself, huh?
Yeah, I did pretty good. I wasn't the most clean gymnast. My form wasn't very good, but I could do some cool tricks. So
what I have to ask, because what was some of the cool things that you got to do? What were some of the events that you took part in?
So I did all 6 events. So there was the floor, vault, parallel bars, pommel horse, rings, and high bar. So I did all 6 of those. And, my favorite event would change, year to year, because my routines would change. And one year I'd be better at this. So like that would be my favorite. Another year I'd be better at floor, and that would be my favorite. So, it changed, but I like doing some cool tricks on the floor. We have on the floor, we had like a foam pit right next to it. So I'd always be the one doing, just flinging myself in the air, doing like 3 backflips or 2 backflips with 4 twists, or 2 backflips with 3 twists. I just like being in there. So
somebody has to have tape or evidence of this somewhere, right? Like it's out there.
Oh yeah. I have a bunch of videos. I like recording it because I just like looking at it, and other people like looking at it too. So yeah, I definitely got some videos stored.
Well, you're going to have to kick those over to me, because we're going to run them on the air during some of these games to let people know just how good of a gymnast you were and why you've got guys and recruiters like Eastern Michigan knocking on your door and saying, "Hey, we think we'd like you to play for us." Talk to me about what the recruiting and you guys are kind of. I don't want to say you're getting back to normal because I don't think it's going to be normal again ever. But from a recruiting experience, the COVID stuff's kind of over. You guys have had a chance to put stuff on tape, and obviously, a Division I college is knocking on your door as a guy that, all right, without the cleats on, how tall are we talking?
So at my physical yesterday, I was 5'6", but I'm 5'7". So
that's like when I tell my wife on my driver's license, it says I'm 5'7". There's no chance that I'm 5'7".
So yeah, physical, I'm 5'6". I'm 5'7", which is basically 5'8". So I'm basically 5'8".
You're basically 6 foot when you think about it.
If you round it, yeah. Yeah.
I love it. What the recruiting process, man? Walk me through it. You know, you've talked to schools, obviously Eastern Michigan, like I said, ringing you up, and you took a trip there. What was that like?
So yeah, well, first to answer your first question, you know, the recruitment process has been great. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get a lot of film for my sophomore year because of an injury. But after last year, I put some film out there, and I got some interest. And this summer I was able to go to camps and show what I can do. And one of those camps was the Eastern Michigan camp, and I was able to show the things I could do on the field, and I'm glad that they took notice. And when I went down there last week, it was great. I mean, I love the atmosphere there. I love the coaching. I like the mentality that they have down there. It's a lot like South Range, just being tough, hard as nails. And it doesn't matter what the opponent throws at you, you're going to go through it. So I really liked it down there.
All right, let's go backwards. When you were a little boy, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Just like every football player, when I was little, I wanted to be, a pro football player. I even to this day, like you'll never see me walking around the house without a football in my hands.
Yeah.
Like I probably got 15 different footballs in my room right now. So, as a little kid, just tossing the ball up in the air, catching it, throwing it to myself, just envisioning myself, playing pro sports. And, now obviously I still have that, dream, but to be honest, I have no clue what I want to do, where I want to go to school, what major I want to do, what occupation. I have absolutely no clue what I want to do. There's about 15 different things I want to do.
I was just going to say, you took my next question away, but I'll take it. What is your favorite subject in school right now at South Range?
So my favorite subject is math. I've always, been pretty good with numbers.
You're all Yeaglyites. He's got you all.
But I never had him. Unfortunately, I never had him as a teacher. But yeah, I mean, math is just a great subject. Well, certain types of math. Geometry, no. But
I love it. So we got the subject. Who's the teacher? And obviously you got a list of, I'm sure, a laundry list of coaches that have assisted you, helped you, believed in you throughout. Who's the teacher in the classroom that has really looked at you and said, you can do this, or let me help you through this time, or something along those lines that has inspired you to be better, Shane?
Like you said, there's, been a bunch of teachers that have, impacted me and, helped me. One, Miss Rosen, not as like an athletic standpoint, but like she's just always there for every student, asking if they need anything. She's, always asking, how we're feeling and all that. And then also Mr. Papalardo, he's a great guy. He's a great teacher, and he's always talking to me and asking me if I need anything. And so those two for sure have helped me. And obviously my dad, he's a teacher, so or unfortunate enough to have him as a teacher. But it was he's definitely one of those teachers, obviously.
What advice would you give yourself as a freshman now that you're a senior?
The advice I'd give myself would probably be just to take everything in. I'm gonna sound cliche, but I don't care. But right. Take it in. It all goes by so fast. I mean, even now, like I talk to my friends, I'm like, wow, we are seniors. Like, I can't believe it went by this fast. So my advice definitely would be the freshman would be, take it all in, try new things, the usual, advice that people give you, but also I just tell them just work hard. You're gonna have a lot of opportunities to do some cool things. So just work hard, whether it's in school, outside of school, and don't do anything stupid.
Yep, that's not bad advice, man. August 18th, you guys have, well, it's kind of a big deal. I don't know if you've marked it on the calendar or not. A team from around here, you may have heard of them, Springfield. You guys seem to have a little bit of a clash seemingly every single year. It might be a little bit of a rivalry in this day and age. Talk to me about what this rivalry means to you.
It means a lot. I mean, just it's special to have a rival, that someone that obviously you look forward to every game, but rivalry week, you got the whole town bumping. I'm sure their town's bumping as well. So we're excited to play them. We know that at Springfield, it's a great program, and South Range is a great program. So there's no surprise that people want to watch that game, because it is going to be a good game. We're excited, and yeah, it's a great rivalry, and I'm super fortunate to be a part of it, be a part of South Range, be a part of that rivalry.
You're certainly not messing around when you say it's going to be bumping on the 18th, because you're going to look around and that place is going to be packed from pillar to post. Are you going to be able to take it in at some point before the game or during the game and just look around and say, okay, going from what we had in 2020 to what we have now, we've come a long way?
Oh, for sure. Before the game, during the game, after the game, I'm going to try my best to take it all in. Last year, I mean, that game was huge. I mean, not having the game in 2020 really built last year's game up. So last year, I let the moment get to me, a little. I was freaking out. I was nervous. It wasn't good. I'm sure you remember that game. I didn't have a good start to that game, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna take it all in and not let the moment get to me, and just appreciate what I'm looking at, what I'm feeling, because the seniors in 2020 didn't get to experience that. So I'm not going to take it for granted, and we're not going to take it for granted. And we know that this game, we're going to win or lose, we're going to remember it for the rest of our lives. So we're going to do our best and have some fun.
We are here with the South Range Swiss Army knife himself, Mr. Shane Lindstrom, brought to you by Youngstown State University. We are Y and proud. Shane, a couple of questions before we let you go. Number one, I've been wanting to ask you this for so long. You have, and I think you answered it earlier, but I'm going to let you have it again. You have an innate ability to always be aware of where everybody else is. You literally, if I had to pick a person out of the Marvel universe, you're Spider-Man. I mean, you have a spider sense about you, that where everybody is at all times, whether you're on offense or whether people are trying to just take you down wherever they are on the field, whether they're out of position or not. Where did you acquire that? Is that some kind of superhero power? And do we have to talk to the Marvel universe about trying to figure out if you're like a human being or actually you have got superpowers?
Yeah, no, like some of it, I feel like you're born with, be able to, feel where you are a little bit. But, it just comes with, experience, just, running routes, feeling where the DBs are, what the tendencies of the DBs are, whether they come down, on the inside of you or the outside of you, depending on the route. So, a lot of it's just, experience. And I have a lot of help from our offensive coordinator, Coach Allegretto. He does a phenomenal job, and he helps me, and he, shows me like where this linebacker is going to be. And, if I catch it here, don't turn this way or else you're going to be on the sidelines or stuff like that, So it's a little of both. And, it combines well, and it really helps me out on the field.
Who are some of the guys on this team this year, offensively, defensively, that you expect to step up in a big way and have big years for what should be a big year for this Raider team?
Oh yeah. There's a bunch, on defense. Bailey Ryan, stud on the, D line. Tyler Remish is a phenomenal linebacker. And we got a Joey Plunkett returning as DB, but we got a bunch of DBs. We got a bunch of skilled DBs that are going to have great years. So, we're excited, and, I think everyone on our defense is, a stud. So defense should be good this year.
And offensively, I mean, I think you know
Oh,
a thing or two about that.
yeah. Offensively, I mean, goes without saying, Billy Skripak. I mean, every single practice, I'm amazed by some of the throws he can make, and not only with his arm, with his brain. He's super smart. He understands the game, and Coach Al does a great job helping him. Um, Chris Colucci returning on the line. He's a real he's the captain of the O line. In that regard. Aiden and JD. They're gonna have great years, and we're working Dean DePizzo in the mix, and Jake Starkey. So everyone on our offense is gonna have a great year. So we're excited.
I'm shocked that you're saying everybody on offense is going to have a great year, being the catalyst of that offense outside of the old gunslinger Billy the Kid in the backfield. All right, so last question I have for you, from a standpoint of why South Range is so important to you. Why do you take so much pride when you walk out there on a Friday night and wear that burgundy and gold?
That's a great question. There's so many things that go into that. I came to South Range when I was in third grade, and I think that's one of the best decisions my parents have ever made. So going out there wearing that burgundy and gold, it just, there's not many words to describe what the community of South Range is like. And the people, even the people on our football team, I just look at them, and I see their tendencies, and they're just tough people, hardworking people. And I'm in other communities, and I see other people, not only from other areas, other states, and they just don't have that same hard work and toughness that South Range has. So I'm super fortunate to be part of this community. And everyone in South Range community is so loving, and they help everyone, even if they don't know them, but they know they're from South Range, so they know they're good people. And I'm just so thankful to be a part of it.
Awesome answer, man. Thank you so much, Shane, for taking 20 some minutes with us. Appreciate it greatly. You're going to have a great season. We're all rooting for you here, obviously. You're a dynamic player, and you're an even better kid and young man, and we're excited to follow you. And best of luck with the recruitment process. If there's anything we can do, please don't be afraid to reach out as we help you. That is Shane Lindstrom. Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
You got it.